welcome back to Asher Books. So today I'm going to film the mid-year book freakout tag. It's actually the third time I filmed this video because it's one of the first videos I ever filmed for this channel. But I think it's a really fun tag, and I think it's kind of fun to do it every year to see what your favorite books were for the first half of the year. I'm not 100% positive who the creator was for this tag, but I'll make sure to link them down below. Also, I'm in a very different location than I normally am. I'm actually home visiting family, but I had some time and wanted to film this, so kind of bear with me with the lighting and stuff. Hopefully it's okay. Also, because of that, I don't have very many physical books to kind of show you guys, but hopefully that's okay. Just kind of bear with me, but let's go ahead and jump into the tag. So number one starts off with a bang, and it's what is the best book you've read so far in 2019. So for this one, I had to go with a couple because who can pick just one? I don't know. One of them is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I read this one a couple of months ago and it just completely took me by surprise and I loved it. It was just such an emotional book and it really has stuck with me. Another one is Pretty Face by Lucy Parker. I feel like this has kind of been the year of Lucy Parker for me. I've really read most of her series this year and I think Pretty Face has been my favorite. If you want to know more about that, there's definitely a video a couple back that I talk more about it, but I loved Pretty Face. And the other one is Work in Progress by Stacey Hart. That one again kind of came out of nowhere and I loved it so much that it really has like stuck on the top of my list. Number two is best sequel you've read in 2019. So again, I picked a couple. One would be Always and Forever Laura Jean. I finished the Always series, I guess that's what it's called, by Ginny Han this year, and I loved both the second and the third book, but Always and Forever was so cute. Definitely one of the best YA contemporary like romancy books that I've read and highly recommend to anybody. Another one is Grin and Beard It by Penny Reid. I love Penny Reid's books. I'm on book, I think I've read the first 3 this year, so really books 2 and 3. But Grin and Beard It was book 2, and the third one was Beard Science. They're hilarious. They are about a family. I love the family aspect. They're such quirky, different characters, and just I love the Penny Reid Winston Brothers series. And then the last sequel I'm gonna mention is Devil's Daughter by Lisa Kleypas. You guys know I love Lisa Kleypas. This is the new one that came out a couple months ago, and I feel like anytime her book comes out, it's gonna be a favorite. Number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet, but want to. And for this one, I do actually have the book, and that is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Kerry Winfrey. I picked this one up the other day, and there's actually a bookmark in it because I really want to start this one next. This one just sounds absolutely adorable, and I've just been really into the like romantic comedy, romantic contemporaries lately, so for summer I think they're really fun. Number 4 is the most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. So there's a few again, but one is The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. I am really excited for this book because I know it has to do with like online dating, and I think a lot of us have at least tried online dating before, and I think it's time that there's like a romance about that. I know there are some out there already, but I'm really excited to see kind of her take on it. I think it's going to be really funny. So yeah, I'm really excited for The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. And another one is Say You'll Still Love Me by K.A. Tucker. It's her new book that's coming out, and after reading The Simple Wild, I'm very excited. It comes out in, I think, August, so very excited for that one as well. 5 is the biggest disappointment of the year. It takes quite a bit for me to like really hate a book, but when I was thinking of which ones just didn't quite live up to kind of the hype for me, one that came to mind was Vicious by L.J. Shen. I did like it. I think I gave it like a 3.54 stars, but so many people absolutely adore this book and it just didn't quite live up to that for me, so I guess I'd say that was the biggest disappointment. Number 6 is biggest surprise of 2019. So I'm gonna go with Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I do love Penelope Douglas because she is a favorite author. I've read a lot of her older stuff, but when you read the synopsis for Birthday Girl, as I've mentioned before, it's pretty like taboo, and so I didn't know if that was going to be my thing, but I love it. I highly recommend it. It is steamy, but also like I got addicted. So Birthday Girl is definitely a surprise for me because I kind of put it off for so long, and then I ended up absolutely adoring bring in. So loved it. Number 7 is favorite new author, and I have 2. So one would be Stacey Hart, who wrote Work in Progress, and I've also read a few of her other books and absolutely love them. I did read one of her books before, but it's been a while, so I kind of rediscovered her. And then also Mary Catherine Gebhard, who wrote Skater Boy, which I talked about a few months ago. I just think I haven't read anything from her before, and her writing was beautiful. I loved her character development and just really, really like emotionally like punched you, so which I like. So I really loved her, and I can't wait to see what she writes next. Number 8 was newest fictional crush, and for this I'm gonna have to go with Thomas Bain, who is the like hero in Work in Progress by Stacey Hart. I feel like I'm on like repeat here, but if it's a favorite book, obviously you're gonna like the characters from it. Thomas Bain is an author in the book, and he's like the bad boy of the writing scene, but also a total sweetheart and just so swoon-worthy. And he's the one hero that's really like I keep remembering a lot about, and if I remember his name too. I'm really bad with names, so when I remember a name, you know I liked it. Number 9 is favorite new character that you've read about, and for this one I'm gonna go with his counterpart, which is Amelia from Work in Progress. There were so many good female characters this year that I could probably go on for an hour, but just to pick one, I loved Amelia's character. I loved her arc. She really came into her own. Really all of Stacey's female characters are so well developed, and they really find themselves, and yes, it's about finding love, but it's also about finding kind of who they are and having the confidence to be that person, and I just love that. I thought that it was fantastic. I loved Amelia. She's very, very relatable. She's a book blogger and very shy, has a lot of anxiety with dating and things like that, so loved her. Number 10 is book that made you cry, and I'm gonna have to go with The Simple Wild for this one by K.A. Tucker. That one, just because of some of the things it touches on with like illness in the family and things like that, I really just like got hit by, and I was crying a lot. And I'm not usually, I do cry in books quite a bit, but like this one just really made me cry. Number 11 is book that made you happy. For this one, I'm gonna go with the Smythe Smith Quartet by Julia Quinn. I read like 3 of the books this year, so I'm gonna say it was this year. This series and all of Julia Quinn's books just make me so happy. I've said this before, and I will say it again. If you're in a bad mood, or you want to be cheered up, pick up a Julia Quinn book, any of them, but especially the Smythe Smith Quartet. They're just funny, they're really lighthearted, the characters are just going to make you laugh, and it always has a really sweet romance as well, so I love that series. Number 12 is favorite book to movie or like show adaptation. I don't think I've seen any movie adaptations. I was really trying to think, and none that I can think of right now. The only thing I could come up with was I do really like Riverdale, and that technically is based off like Archie comics, so maybe that. But yeah, I'm kind of more of a TV person recently, and I have loved Riverdale, so I guess we'll go with that. 13 is favorite review you've written or like done on here. I'm gonna go with talking about Skater Boy. I didn't do like a whole separate review, but I definitely talked about it like in my wrap up, which to me is kind of like a review. I just love that book, and so I really love talking about it, and I felt like there was a lot to say about that book. I just really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Number 14 is the most beautiful book you bought this year, and I feel like all the illustrated covers this year for me have been like the thing I'm gravitating towards and the ones that I spend my money on. So like Waiting for Tom Hanks that I showed you guys earlier, that one is one of the cutest book covers ever, and I loved like Fix Her Up, I loved the Unhoneymooners. All of the illustrated covers really have just been like sucking me in, so I'd say those are probably the most beautiful books I bought this year so far. And 15, what book do you have to read by the end of the year? For this one, I'm gonna say Night Chaser by Amanda Boucher. I have been meaning to pick this book up for what seems like forever, but really just I think it came out in January, and it's sci-fi romance, kind of like on a spaceship, and it's like an adventure. I loved Amanda Boucher's Kingmaker Chronicles, which was fantasy, and so I feel like I'm gonna love this, and I just need to pick it up. Alright guys, that is the mid-year book freakout tag. Let me know what you guys think about these. I always love hearing other people's answers and watching these, so if you've done one of these, definitely like let me know down below so I can go watch it. Also, thank you for bearing with me for like a different location. I will be back to regularly scheduled programming fairly soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!